Hello again, everyone. Welcome back, and get your black lights ready. This cigar band screams for a black light. This is the new cigar from Ventura Cigar Company and the Archetype series, Chapter 3. This is the Sacred Scales Toro 6x52. Look at those colors and tell me that they wouldn't look wild under a black light. I don't have one, but I know they would. There is the density. Now this is part of the, I guess you'd call it like a fantasy series, but this is chapter 3 of the Archetype cigar story. These cigars are made by, crafted by Ernesto Perez Carrillo in his Dominican Republic factory. The sacred scales, it says, marks the inflection point in the journey, beginning the hero's return to the real world from the imaginary. All right. Anyway, this cigar features a San Andreas Maduro wrapper, Ecuadorian binder, and the filler is from Nicaragua. Comes in 3 sizes: a Robusto, Toro 6x52, and a Gordo. There's also the Dawn of Destiny, which is the counterpart to this in the series, and I'll be doing it a little later, but today I have chosen to start with the Sacred Scales. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get right to it. The Archetype Sacred Scales. All right, let's first start out by removing this this little band at the foot with that symbol. This looks like it's from that TV show Westworld. I swear it does. Anyway. Oh. I took off so little I was afraid that it wouldn't have a good draw, but it does. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Here we go. The first flavor is a very tangy citrus with some low-level cinnamon and brown sugar, but there is a massive amount of pretty much espresso and sweet chocolate. You can get those flavors, but they are the predominant flavors. The first thing you'll taste will be that little citrus, but then it's just like a wave coming behind it of predominantly espresso with some sweet chocolate. Black pepper at about 7-ish. You would think it'd be much higher, but it's actually not. So that's how we start. By far, the biggest flavor you're going to notice is the espresso and then the citrus, but it's so much espresso overtaking the citrus that it's almost an afterthought, but it is there, and it has nice sweetness to it. There is chocolate there. Seems to have some sweetness too. So. Do you get the feel I need to see where we're going? Because we do. I do. So let's see what happens by the final third. I mean, the first third. Okay, about 14 minutes in, not at the first third, but inch in, 14 minutes, an inch in, whatever. The flavors have settled down. If I look like I didn't know what I was talking about a couple of minutes ago, it was hard to pin down everything. Now they've settled down, okay? Because there was so much black coffee espresso that it was hard to pin anything else, figure anything else out. Orange citrus, cinnamon, brown sugar, orange peel, also nutmeg, and by this point, a very stout black coffee. So those are the flavors you have, maybe 3/4 to an inch in, which are not, and chocolate. Gosh, how can I forget chocolate? There's nice semi-sweet chocolate to go along with that black coffee. There is a pronounced amount of it. I just left it out. So you can see there's a lot of flavors. When it finally settles down, there's a lot of flavors, and they're very nice. The citrus is more than just a dab. It's very, very pronounced orange citrus. But the other flavors are right there with it, so it doesn't dominate the cigar. I'm only an inch in, but it's pretty good. But I'll be back in the first third. Well, here we are at the first third. It took us a while to get there. I may be just beyond it because production, what have you, with video. But there's still a lot of black coffee in this cigar. But you do get the same notes that we had in that last segment. And it's a very interesting cigar. I like the chocolate. The orange peel kind of works for it and against it, in my opinion. It's sort of works both ways. Quite a bit of nutmeg. The orange citrus is there along with orange peel. Chocolate. A lot of black coffee. Brown sugar, cinnamon. A lot of nutmeg. But it's an interesting cigar. I would call it medium. It's a very high grade medium right now. Finishes a lot of chocolate. Not a lot of sweetness on the finish with that chocolate, but a lot of it. And some nutmeg and decent lingering black pepper. It's almost like the lingering black pepper is more appealing than the front end black pepper. That's weird. But the cigar is interesting. It's very different with that massive amount of orange peel note and nutmeg. Gives it an interesting flavor. I'm starting off the first third at 92. It's just different. It's really an interesting kind of different. So let's just see. You know, this cigar has already been a little bit of a tongue twister and perplexing. Maybe that's the point. But it's not bad. Well, end of the second third, and the cigar is burning much slower than I thought it would for this size, but that's fine. But there's more pronounced citrus now. The cigar is smoothed out. There's still the same flavor notes, but it's just a little more pronunciation of the citrus. I would say it's medium to full easily. The finish is a little sweeter now. There's just a touch of this orange citrus on the finish, giving it some sweetness. There's still the chocolate and nutmeg. Lingering black pepper, still pretty good. But the cigar seemed to improve in the second third. Maybe it settled down even more. But the increased sweetness and smoothing out of the rough edges. I'm raising the score to 93 for the second third. I thought it definitely improved. So, good cigar so far. Let's see what the final third brings. Well, we're down to the end, so let's wrap it up. Much more chocolate notes in the final third, along with your coffee. The front end flavor, rather than citrus, sort of morphed over to cedar, as it sometimes, most of the times, will do. Nutmeg, brown sugar, cinnamon. I believe I would give it full bodied status. Finish is sort of going back to the way it was in the first third. There's really not much citrus on there. It's just the chocolate and nutmeg. The lingering black pepper remained very good. The cigar changed a lot. Little subtle things here, there, just moving around. The orange peel isn't in the final third either. It's predominantly chocolate, which is not bad. It has some sweetness to the chocolate. But I believe I would drop the score to 92 again because the orange citrus really was a big player and it appealed to me. But this hasn't been a bad cigar at all. The overall score would be 92.33. Not bad. And the Dawn of Destiny will be coming up here in the coming weeks before the end of the year. So we'll see how it shakes out. But this Maduro version is not too bad. So there you have it, the Archetype Chapter 3 Sacred Scales, Toro, 92.33.